I moved to Cedar Hollow Lake, chasing one thing: quiet. After 20 years as a Navy mechanic, fixing engines in the belly of ships, and another 15 teaching shop class to high schoolers, I was done with noise, done with chaos. My little cabin on the lake, with its sagging porch and creaky private docks stretching out over the water, was my slice of heaven where I'd sip coffee at dawn, my old mutt Rusty snoring beside me, and watch the world wake up slow, like it had nowhere to be. That dock was my church, my therapy, my everything, where I'd fish with my grandson Timmy, tell him stories about the sea, or just sit, letting the water's rhythm wash away the years. For a long time, nobody messed with that piece. Neighbors kept to themselves. The HOA fussed over mailbox colors and Christmas lights. But my corner of the lake, they left it alone. That is, until Linda Harper showed up. Linda wasn't just a new neighbor, she was a force, like a storm you didn't see coming until the trees started bending. Picture a woman with a razor-sharp bob, always clutching a tablet like it was her lifeline, her smile tight, like it was holding back a lecture. Within weeks of moving in 3 houses down, she'd sweet-talked her way into running the HOA. Unopposed, because nobody else wanted the job. I didn't vote her me bad, I'll own that. At first, she stuck to petty stuff. Letters about unmowed lawns, warnings about trash, cans left out past pickup day. I ignored it. My cabin sat just outside the HOA's manicured grid, my deed crystal clear on lake access and dock rights. Checked and double-checked when I bought the place. I thought I was untouchable. Then one chilly morning, I spotted her silver SUV parked at the end of my dirt drive, engine humming, just sitting there. Rusty growled, low and grumpy, then flopped back down. I felt a prickle, like I was being watched. A few days later, a letter arrived, fancy HOA letterhead, claiming my dock was on community-managed shoreline and needed usage approval, or I'd face fines. For a dock built 20 years before the HOA even existed. I crumpled it, tossed it in the trash, figured that was the end of it. It wasn't. Linda started circling closer, walking her yappy little dog by the lake, snapping photos of my dock from every angle, once even standing on the far bank, staring for a solid 15 minutes like she was plotting a siege. I kept my cool, sanding down a rail, earbuds in, pretending she wasn't there. But the emails kept coming, each one sharper. Dear Mr. Bennett, we urge compliance with dock regulations. Dear Mr. Bennett, unauthorized structures on shared lakefront are under review. Shared lakefront, my ass. I pulled out my Survey Me lot stretched 10 feet past the dock's edge, grandfathered in under 1980s county rules. I had the paperwork, the permits, everything. Linda wasn't after facts, though she wanted control, and I was her target. Things got real when I caught her on my dock one afternoon, bold as brass, stepping over the locked gate like it was nothing. I was trimming bushes up by the house when I saw her, tablet raised, snapping pictures like she owned the place. Hey, I called, striding down the hill. That's private property. She spun around, flashing that fake smile. Oh, just documenting for the HOA's shoreline review. Mr. Bennett standard procedure. Get off my dock, I said, voice steady but hard. I'm authorized by the board. She chirped like that settled it. One more step, Linda, and I'm calling it trespassing. She froze, eyes narrowing, then turned and sauntered off, but not before snapping one last photo of me, of Rusty, of my whole damn life. That night, I called my buddy Mike, a lawyer who'd seen his share of HOA nonsense, and the county clerk. Time to lock this down. I dug through my files deed, surveys, old photos of the dock from '95, even a letter from the guy who sold me the place, swearing it was built to last. I scanned it all, backed it up, felt that old Navy focus kick in not anger, but something sharper like lining up a shot. Linda thought she could steamroll a retired guy with a fishing pole. She didn't know me. For a week, things went quiet, too quiet, like the calm before a squall. I kept busy repainting the dock, checking bolts, measuring the water line after a storm. Then one morning, there she was again, out on my dock, tablet up, filming like she was Spielberg. Her heels clicked on the planks, her blouse flapping in the breeze. I didn't yell this time. I walked down, rusty in my heels, feeling the heat rise, not rage, but clarity. "Linda," I said, voice low, "you're trespassing." She barely looked up. "HOA business. Mr. Bennett Shoreline Compliance meeting is coming up." "There's no meeting," I shot back. "Oh, there will be," she said, smirking, tapping her screen. I pulled out my phone, snapped a picture of her standing there, bold as ever. "I'm documenting you too." Her smile flickered just for a second, and I knew I'd hit something. She stepped off, climbed in her SU parked half on my grass, mind you, and peeled out. That night, I filed a trespassing report with the sheriff, timestamped photo and all. Didn't expect much, but I wanted it on record. 2 days later, the HOA hit me with a new letter bolder, uglier, citing Article 4.2, non-compliant shoreline structures, threatening fines, and enforced removal if I didn't comply in 14 days. I sat down with Mike at his office, spread out my documents like a war map. "She's got nothing," he said, grinning. "Your doc's clean county records, grandfather clause, the works. She's just hoping you'll blink." We drafted a cease and desist letter, aimed straight at Linda, citing trespassing laws and warning of harassment charges. Sent it certified mail, return receipt requested. Her reply? A new lakefront preservation task force, her own invention. With her, as chair, demanding I suspend dock usage for some vague environmental study. I laughed, then installed a motion sensor camera by the shed, pointed right at the dock. If she came back, I'd have her in 4K. Sure enough, a week later, my phone pinged at dawn. There was Linda, clipboard in hand, strutting down my dock like it was a runway. She stopped at the edge, squinted across the lake, then bent down and taped a laminated sign to a post, pending review. "Do not use HOA property." I stormed down, ripped it off, and shouted as she scurried to her SUV, "What the hell is this?" She didn't turn, just called back, "You'll hear from us soon," and sped off. I was done playing defense. I printed 24 packet surveys, permits, my deed, all highlighted, and went door to door explaining the truth. My dock was legal, Linda was overreaching, and she was coming for anyone who didn't bow. Neighbors were shocked. Most hadn't even known there was a fight. One guy, Tom Riley, who worked for the water district, shook my hand and said, "I've seen HOAs pull this crap before, but not here. You're right to push back." By evening, my phone was buzzing texts, calls, even muffins from a lady down the street, all saying the same thing: "We're with you." Then came the big moment. One morning, I'm out with my coffee, Rusty sniffing the grass, when I hear gravel crunch. Linda's SUV rolls right down my drive, stopping inches from the dock, engine running. She steps out, tablet raised, filming again, muttering about violations. I notice her brake lights are on, but something's off. No gear shift, no parking brake. I yell, "Linda, your car." She ignores me, too busy narrating her little documentary. Then it happens. The SUV lurches slow at first, then picks up speed, rolling onto the dock. The wood groans under the weight. Linda spins around, face going white, and sprints to the door locked. She fumbles with her keys, screaming, "No, no, no." As the front tires dip, then the whole damn thing slides nose first into the lake with a splash that echoes like a cannon. Papers float out, her clipboard sinks, and Linda's standing there, soaked, shrieking, "This is your fault. This dock shouldn't be here." I grab Rusty's collar, pull out my phone, and call 911. Calm as can be. "Yeah, a car just rolled into Cedar Hollow Lake off my dock. Driver's fine, but it's sinking." The fire department shows up, then the sheriff, then a tow crew, and half the neighborhood. Phones out, whispering like they're at a circus. Linda's sitting on the shore, wrapped in a blanket, mascara streaking, telling anyone who'll listen I caused this. The deputy pulls me aside, watches my camera footage clear as day. Linda leaving her car in neutral. No brake, trespassing again. This helps, he says, handing my phone back. They haul her SUV out, dripping green muck, looking like a drowned beast. Linda's led to an ambulance, still muttering about my unsafe dock. Tom Riley sidles up, whistling. She didn't drive an inch, just forgot to stop it. I nod. Gonna be one hell of a board meeting. And it was. The HOA tried damage control with a vague email about a vehicle malfunction, but the neighborhood wasn't buying it. People started talking, sharing their own Linda's Stories fines for flagpoles, threats over kids' toys. The board's vice president, Sarah Cole, called me apologetic. She didn't consult us on half this stuff. We're voting on her position soon. A week later, Linda resigned personal stress, loss of confidence, legal exposure. The board scrapped her shoreline rules, promised a full bylaw review. I got a letter from the county, stamped and official. My dock was 100% mine. Always had been. Neighbors started reclaiming their lives. Tom raised a bigger flag. A mom down the street built a swing for her kid. It wasn't just my win, it was ours. But Linda wasn't done. Her lawyer sent a letter, claiming I owed $14,000 for her car, blaming my hazardous dock. I laughed, sent it to Mike. We filed a counter-claim harassment, defamation, the works backed by videos, witnesses, everything. In court, I told the story plain. The dock, the trespassing, the car in the lake. The judge didn't blink. Clear pattern of harassment, she said, awarding me $8,000. Linda sat stone-faced, her lawyer scrambling. Outside, neighbors clapped me on the back like I'd won a prize fight. I didn't feel like a winner, though I felt free. Back home, I bolted a new bench to the end of my dock, carved the date into it October 21st, a quiet nod to sticking it out. Neighbors started dropping by, not to gawk, but to sit, share a beer, watch the sunset. The lake was ours again, not Linda's battlefield. One evening, Timmy came over, his fishing rod swinging. "Grandpa, you beat the mean lady." I chuckled, ruffling his hair. Dock never broke. Kid just got loud for a bit. As we cast our lines, I saw neighbors across the water, laughing, waving, living. A note appeared on my dock one day, taped to the bench. "Thanks for fighting. You saved more than your dock." Signed, half the street. I still wonder what drove Linda fear, control, some wound she never named. She's gone now, house sold, vanished like she was never here. But the dock stands, creaking in a breeze, and the lake's quiet again, not because it's empty, but because it's full of us. So, what do you think? Did I go too far, or was this about more than a dock? Drop a comment, share your own HOA horror story. Let's talk about what it takes to stand your ground when someone tries to take what's yours.